conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a very rainy, cold, gloomy, somewhat crappy afternoon here in California. Paul is coming at you live from beautiful Philadelphia. But the vibes are good. The BYM podcast is back. We've got a ton of stuff to go through today. We're going to talk about Tom Aspinall's double eye surgery. We're going to talk about Johnny Walker saying that he's disgusted with his brother. We've got Sean Strickland expressing frustration at Khamzat Chimaev's inactivity. We've got Strickland versus Fluffy this weekend. We've got Mike Perry getting jumped by Eddie Alvarez. Nate Diaz saying that he's going to come back and take over the sport. We got a bunch of other shit, okay? Right? We've got a lot of stuff we're going to go through. It's the BYM podcast. You're going to be up to date with all the news and the views, the reviews and the previews. But first of all, we're not messing up. Paul, this is how you start a podcast, bro. How you doing?
You're bringing the energy today, Michael, and I enjoy it. I need it. It's waking me up. It's not as gloomy here as it sounds like it is in California, but there's still about 6-foot piles of snow outside of my house. So I'm ready to abandon the piles of snow, go to Houston this weekend for that Fluffy Strickland fight. But that sounds like a lot of good shit to talk about.
Yeah.
Right there. There's a lot going on. And this Aspinall thing is getting you almost have to put your tinfoil hat on to talk about this Tom Aspinall stuff now.
Yeah. And listen, if we did the podcast twice a week like we used to do, we would have talked about this already because this broke towards the end of last week and I couldn't believe it. This whole story, someone came out on Twitter, Ruben Carter, and then I was like, whatever, it's just some random. Then I saw Josh Thompson, obviously, former Bellator commentator, and I was like, Josh is talking about it as well. Maybe there is some legitimacy to this. And he was like, apparently the story goes that the UFC contacted him, asked him to vacate the belt whilst the division moves on. And I thought to myself, well, that does sound kind of believable because he just had double eye surgery and it's been 4 months since the last fight. So I could kind of see why they would want to do that and not another interim title because of that whole mess that went down. But he said, apparently, again, we all know now this is bullshit. Tom said, yeah, but only if you let me you release me from my belt so I can go box. And I saw that and I was like, oh my God, no, tell me this isn't true, Tom. Tell me you haven't done this. And anyway, it all turned out to be utter nonsense. Thank God, because Tom has got the ability to go on and have a tremendous career and make a ridiculous amount of money. I remember saying this to Tom a while ago, Tom, you do realize you could go on and defend the belt multiple times. And yeah, sure, Cyril Gahn was looking like a tough matchup. But you get through him, you go and defend the belt 4, 5, 6 times, making millions and millions and millions of dollars. I was like, please tell me, do you not walking away to go and box? And anyway, turns out the whole thing was bullshit.
Thank God. I agree. It's not time for that yet, right? You'd be leaving tons of money on the table with the UFC. And like you said, I'm not saying they're easy matchups. We saw, like you said, how that was playing out with Cyril Gahn. It's going to be a tough fight for him. But really, I think that's the only guy that really presents major problems for Tom Aspinall in that heavyweight division. I mean, we saw the state of it recently. I mean, Jailton Almeida might be, is he gone officially? I don't know. He's cut
last
right?
week.
And this is a guy that we were like, oh, he's got good takedowns. He just doesn't do anything. The state of the division is a bit of a mess right now. They're thirsty for real high competition. I can see why Alex Pereira wants to jump into that pool too, because I think if he can bulk up, get in there, he's going to make some serious damage. But for Tom, I think boxing's in his future, but I think it's going to be a lot harder to earn those millions of dollars if he goes straight into heavyweight boxing right now than it would be to stay in the UFC and try to clear out that division, make a huge name for yourself, even more than you've already done. It's really effing unfortunate for him right now, man. He gets poked in the eye. Now there's all this eye surgery going on. There's all the rumorville. There's all the conspiracies going on where people are basically saying, I mean, let's just say it. People are saying he's full of shit and that there's not really these surgeries. People are even posting pictures of the one doctor and saying that he's an actor. He's not even really a doctor. Did you see that?
The IMDb guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. It is wild, right? It is absolutely insane why Tom is being painted as the bad guy here. He was the guy that got fouled, right? And the consensus is that people, you know, they want to see fighters acting tougher. And Paddy Pimblett was able to fight through it. And I continued with one eye. That's a different story. That was a slow deterioration of an eye. He got poked in the eye, and people are saying, yeah. Aljamain Sterling, did you see him yesterday on Twitter?
He went at him, right? He
went hard at him, saying, well, we all know you don't say that you never say you can't see. And he's right. He's right. You don't say that. And I've said before, unless you can't see. But we don't want to go over old ground. But Brian, if you just click on the image, and I think it's number 2 in the notes here, Championship Rounds posted this. And this is Tom on his YouTube channel talking. And he said, I'll never stop loving MMA, but I just hate the business. I think that fighters are completely replaceable, and the business will make you feel like that any chance it gets. Even if you get hit with an illegal move which could affect you for the rest of your life, they don't really give a shit, and neither does anyone else. And okay, I sympathize with what he's going through because he feels like he's being victimized for getting fouled. I understand that. But on the larger point of what he's saying here, and I'm not trying to talk badly about Tom because we all get wrapped up in our own emotions and our own feelings, and we are all the center of our own universe. You know, we're all the lead role in our story. So Tom feels bad for himself. But what he's explaining there is just the world. It's just real life. You know, there's plenty of people out there that have jobs, menial jobs, low-paying jobs. I mean, I've done jobs, minimum wage, £3.42 per hour. Do you think they gave a shit about me? And sadly, in the UFC, mixed martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, combat sports in general, it's just the lay of the land. Fighters are a commodity. This is a very dangerous business. There's a reason why most people look at this and go, you guys are crazy for doing that. In 4-ounce gloves, almost naked, and trying to beat the crap out of one another. Injuries happen. In boxing, deaths happen. And sadly, when those injuries happen and when people can't continue, the show still goes on. I did my final point. I did a YouTube video on this. So if anyone saw it, I don't want to repeat myself. But, you know, like your Amazon driver, you know, John, your local driver, if he twists his ankle, someone else pops up the next day. You know, the drones are coming. The milk still gets delivered. You know, the factories are turning. The wheels are chugging. The cogs of the machine don't stop. Do you know what I mean? It just means, sadly, for you, for Tom, for me, for you, Paul, if your hip was going, UFC aren't going to come grinding to a halt. If someone gets injured in boxing, the WBO don't stop promoting fights. You know, I understand his frustration and I understand him being in his feelings, if you will. But that's just the world we live in, man. It's a cold, hard world.
Yeah. I think it's just you have to come to the realization and you have to understand that you need to be as selfish as you can possibly be as well as a combat sports athlete, because he's not wrong. They will move on and worry about the product and worry about the company. And the fans will do the same. Unfortunately, they'll be fickle. They'll find somebody else to root for. They'll move on. You need to worry about yourself and what's best for you and your family, and do everything you can to get the most out of that sport, the most out of the UFC that you can, and then be done when you're ready to be done on your terms. I can remember when I was in the hospital in Vegas after I broke my arm against Mike Perry. I was, you know, like you're talking about, I was covered in blood. I was mangled. I had a severe concussion, cast on my arm, cuts all over my face, and I didn't get the bonus. And I was so woe is me. I was ready to quit the sport. I was texting my manager. I'm cursing everybody out. And I remember I was with Jared Gordon, who's been through a bunch of shit in his life. And he was just like, what are you going to do, man? Like, what are you going to do? You'll heal up. You'll move on. You'll get back in there. You'll win another fight. You just dust it off and you get back in. And if you can continue and make more money, just fight for as much as you can and worry about your family, worry about your health. And if it's done, it's done. And unfortunately, I feel for Tom, because we've all been there at some point where you're mad, you're angry that everyone seems to be out to get you. And he's not wrong. Right now, he is the center of attention. He's the butt of a lot of weird conspiracies. And I'm sure he's sitting on the other side of a lot of this going, what the fuck are you talking about right now? But it's just
yep.
the internet. And it's just the internet and where we are in 2026 where people can make shit up. There's such good AI. There's so many things and people are putting like the IMDb fake doctor out there and saying that he's not really injured with his eyes. You have to try to just ignore it as best as you can. And I think he's really letting it get to him. And I'm not saying I wouldn't be bothered by it either.
Yeah, because listen, Tom is a big, very large human being. He's a big, strong, tough guy, right? He's technically the baddest man on the planet, right? It's not the boxing. It's not Tyson Fury that's making a comeback. And we're going to talk about John Fury, who is back in style. And I've missed some good old No Man Alive John Fury content, right? So we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But Tom's the baddest man on the planet. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't feel things in there and in here. And it doesn't hurt him when the fucking entire world is going, oh, this guy's a pussy. This guy's scared. This guy doesn't want to fight.
Yeah. And what makes it so much worse is right before all of this, you were the guy. People were chanting your name. People were all with you when you had the duck and you're going around and you're hating on John Jones. Now the shoe's on your feet. You know what I mean? Now it switches, and you've got to be able to deal with both sides of that coin in this sport in particular, right? There's no team behind you. There's no other players to take the attention away from you when it's you. And I think that's what makes this just so much harder to deal with, is that everyone was ready for you to be the fucking guy and to be the man in the UFC. And then shit went south. You were having a rough fight. We don't know what was going to happen in that fight, but then the pokes happen and everyone turns on you. And it seems like it shouldn't have been that way because you're the one that got fouled. Cyril Gane, you would think, oh, he's going to become the bad guy. It didn't work that way. Unfortunately, people turned on you because I think they wanted you to be the guy to go out there, knock him out. You're the heavyweight champ. We wanted this GOAT again in that division. And when it went that way, that's tough to deal with when you're the man, when you're on top, when everyone is waiting for you to take that role, and then shit goes real weird. That makes it so much more challenging.
Well, because the thing is, when you're in the public eye and when you are, let's say, guilty of trolling John Jones, the greatest of all time, because he trying to get that fight. He was bringing the duck everywhere. He was, playing that whole game, right?
And it was great.
I loved it.
And it was great.
It was great. I was all about it because John Jones was ducking him, right? Yeah. But now, when you factor in that and you're given this situation, it's easy because you got to remember John Jones has a lot of fans out there. He's one of the greatest, or if not the greatest, that's another debate, that this sport's ever seen. So there's a lot of people that take Jones's side of that argument. So now it's like, oh, right, okay. And you've just got to develop thick skin, because you can't please everybody. And this sport will give you thick skin. I said this in my other video. I don't need to tell you or anyone watching this podcast. Bro, and this is not a brag. At one time, I was one of the most hated guys in all of the UFC, right? It's simple as that. And I deserved it. I talked a lot of shit. I acted like a punk, right? And I've had to grow up from being 25 years old to now 46. It kind of, with cameras in my face, three seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, multiple countdown shows, losing my temper at weigh-ins, acting like a dickhead, you know what I mean? Right? So I gave people plenty of opportunities, but now the tide has turned. And, for the most part, I get cheered when I go places. You're just going to develop thick skin. Like I remember my first ever fight, UFC 66, and this is pre-smartphones. I think so.
At least to the level that we are right now.
Well, I remember this is how because of course I'd made my UFC debut at UFC 66, opened up the main card, got the first round knockout, right? And I wanted to check what people were saying on the Sherdog forums and the CageWarriors.com forum, right? Because, there was no Twitter. There was none of that. So you couldn't get that instant dopamine from people talking about your fight. Yeah, the only way I could see anything was standing in the MGM lobby, and they had this it was like an old phone booth, but it gave you internet access. and I put in like a few dollars on my credit card or whatever it was. And I went on, my wife's standing there going, what are you doing, you egomaniac? But I wanted to see what people were saying. So I went on and I searched my name in the forum, and there, sure enough, there was a whole thread of people talking about it. And they were talking nothing but mad shit. Do you know what I mean? Going, oh my God, he nearly got submitted twice. Eric Schaefer's nothing. Bisping sucks. Yeah, typical UK fighter. Can't stop a takedown to save his life. And I was like,
I won.
I won in the first round. I got
You didn't win good enough, Michael.
Exactly.
You didn't win good enough. Yeah. Oh, man. Everyone had their Nokias out.
So the moral of the story is you're never going to please everyone, man. Mm-hmm. You know, and I guess... I mean, he is posting the videos with the eyes looking bad, right? So that does, and it has been 4 months. And if I remember rightly, the idea was, because it was Brown syndrome, I think they called it, to where he can't focus and he's having a ton of eye drops. And apparently he was struggling to shake people's hands. I get that. I struggle grabbing things all the time. So I understand what he's going through. And he wanted to wait if it would improve. Now it's been 4 months. Clearly, it mustn't have improved because now he's had the 2 surgeries and the eyes are all red. I don't know what kind of surgery it was, you know, the level of the depth, for want of a better word, pardon the pun, of the surgery, you know, how invasive it was, you know, but you could just tell people the type of surgery you had and then that'd show everyone up. I had a scleral buckle. Look that shit up online. That will make you throw up. Okay, it's a disgusting surgery. So yeah, I mean,
the eye surgeries are, they make your skin crawl, peeling layers of your eye and needles and blades near your eyes is. Ugh.
Yeah. No,
he literally made us watch it on the show one time. It was fucking awful.
That's right. I did. Yeah. So there's that. But then Alex Pereira comes out, and that's why I think Alex's timing of going 1, 2, 3 and go, I think is the translation. And for a man that all he says is Shama, that's saying quite a lot for Alex Pereira. I think, and we've said this before, I think there's a third belt, a third title fight with Pereira involved. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, with all of this stuff going on with rumors of asking him to vacate and Pereira posting that kind of stuff. And we knew he's been wanting to get on that White House card. Dana also said, you know, the matchmaking is done for that. And then for him to be around that same time, comes out and puts that kind of cryptic post out there saying 1, 2, 3, go. I think it's go time. You think it's him and Cyril Gane?
And again, this isn't right because it's like the guy that committed to foul is being rewarded. But again, and this is for anyone.
It's the only one that makes sense.
Life's not fair sometimes. Yeah. It's not a fair world. You know what I mean? You make your own reality. You make your own fortune. You got to get out of bed every day and fuck it because no one else cares about you. They really don't. And then, like, you know, whatever faction of life it is, no one cares about you, right? The only person that gives a shit about you, not the government, not people at work, no one. The only person that cares about you is you, your wife, your kids, you got your little family unit, and you focus on you guys. And so it sucks for Tom, but I would say that right now, Cyril Gane is the man because he was fighting for the undisputed belt. He was doing well.
Yeah.
And Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane's a bloody good matchup.
It's a great matchup. And, you know, it was going to be Tom and Cyril in a rematch. And obviously, Tom is still dealing with the eye stuff. And that absolutely sucks. And I think if and when he's ready to come back, it's an absolute no-brainer that whoever has that belt is fighting Tom Aspinall. He's going to jump right back into that position if he wants it. But like you said, we can't not have the heavyweight belt up for grabs at some point. And nobody wants to see these interim belts over and over again. How often do we complain about these interim titles? Everyone was just complaining about the Gaethje and Patty fighting for the interim lightweight belt. We don't want to do that again. And you don't want to do that again if it is at the White House. You don't want it to be an interim belt on that platform. You want that to be for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah. All right. This episode is sponsored by Prizepicks, which is basically a really easy and fun way to make some dollars while you're watching your favorite sport, like mixed martial arts. All you got to do is pick 2 to 6 player stat projections. NBA, mixed martial arts, football, you name it, they've got it. For example, will fighter such and such get more than 3 takedowns in this fight? More or less? That's it. It is really that simple. So shoot your shot on Prizepicks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right. Prizepicks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play just your first $5. Prizepicks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board that much more exciting. So don't miss the chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. And of course, right now the NBA action is spicing up. So Prizepicks are offering stacks, meaning that you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Steph Curry's points, 3-pointers, and assists? Now you can pick them all in the same lineup, only on Prizepicks. Prizepicks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast and secure. Prizepicks accepts most major payment methods, making deposits into your account quick and easy this sports season. So download the Prizepicks app today and use the code BELIEVE and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code BELIEVE to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5. Prizepicks. It's good to be right. Well, let's talk about the White House real quick, because apparently Dana said the matchmaking's done. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he said that. My guess, Herringbone, welcome to the show.
Well, so he said, thank you. He said in the post for the Zupa boxing last night, he said that the matchmaking is done. They still have 1 or 2 options though. So like they had the meeting last week. They figured out what the matchmaking is going to be. And they said it's between 1 or 2 options. Meaning
the main event, I'm assuming.
I don't know. Could be. I mean, it could be something like, remember UFC 200, technically the main event was Nunes versus Tate, but it's everybody remembers it for Brock Lesnar coming back, so they might have like something on there.
Did you see the rumors of Brock Lesnar?
That's fucking wild. I'm so high. If that's real, that would be the coolest fucking thing ever.
Hey, if it is, we ain't breaking it, okay? I don't want to be the next Ariel Helwani.
I saw somebody make a joke on Twitter about the UFC hedging their bets on whether Conor or John Jones are going to be arrested before the White House, and that's why there's two options.
Well, last week
it could be both. Shout out Adam from MMA Roasted.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Sorry, Taporia. Islam, he said that he's down to fight Taporia. And I did a whole video on this, that Taporia versus Islam. Is there a bigger fight to make? And my whole point was, and apologies if you watch my YouTube channel, that would be 2 weight division champions. Two weight division champions going up against each other in the prime.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know about it in the prime.
Champions, that's never happened. That said, Ian Garry.
Yeah, the only option we'd have would be like BJ Penn versus Randy Couture. You know what I mean? Like there haven't been enough 2 division champions.
Amanda Nunes versus Daniel Cormier. George St. Pierre versus Valentina Shevchenko. Oh no, she wasn't a 2-weight division champ.
No.
Saw that GSP was vague posting about a return, right?
Oh, no, he wasn't. No, was he really?
He said, I love to leave, but I love to come back even more. Something like that.
House emoji.
It's crazy.
George,
oh man, how old is George now? Is he 40 yet?
Yeah, he's 40, but the guy's still doing backflips out of the
I know. Yeah, he he does. He doesn't look a day over 25. He looks great.
No, he's 44. Harrington just said in notes. Yeah.
44?
44, man.
Fuck, George. You look great for 44, dude.
Yeah. Hey, well, dude, it's my birthday in about, 10 days. I'll be in Mexico City calling the fights.
Oh.
47. How the hell did that happen?
47.
40. I know, because it's like 40s. I'm cool. I mean, I'm very comfortable with my age because I'm happy. I'm happy with who I am and where I am. And mentally, I'm at peace these days. I never used to be at peace. I used to be constant turmoil in my head. You know what I mean? Fighting myself and everyone else and arguing with everyone. Now I don't give a shit about anything. It takes a lot to get me riled up. But 47 is encroaching on 50,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't want to be 50.
Well,
It's on its way.
it's gonna be there in 3 years.
What are you, Paul, again?
I'm 41. I'll be 42 in April.
Right. So
42 in April.
mid-40s.
I'm not that far behind you, buddy. I'm not that far behind you.
Speaking of older guys, and I've missed this guy because not an episode of the podcast went by where I didn't drop a John Fury impression, because no man alive, right? He's back. Tyson Fury is coming out of retirement for 5th time, right? Proper fighting man. He's taking on some Russian. I can't pretend I know who he is, but because of that, John Fury's also back. And Brian Harrington.
Run like a fucking bitch! Carl Frock's run like a fucking bitch! All them fuckers calling me John Fury on a fucking video like I'm afraid of any man that walks. I'm afraid of no man, only God Almighty. And I'm here to prove it to you all. Fuck this charade. Fuck this for them pawns up there. This is fucking me, John Fury. Don't give a fuck about no man from Godmother. Some fucking respect to my name. Because when you mention John Fury's name, what do you do? Run like friggin' bitches, Carl Frock. Run like a bitch, Carl Frock. Don't talk about me or come to the north and punch you fucking head.
Yeah.
Who's he yelling at?
He's yelling at Carl Frock.
Was Carl Frock in the middle of a broadcast while he was doing that?
Absolutely.
Like he was like
What a
fucking
fucking
analyst in mid-light show, and John Fury
Yeah,
was in the TV
he's doing a
studio.
stand-up right there. And
Yeah.
John Fury's screaming at him.
This man is. I'm talking about being at peace and stuff.
Oh.
He's almost 61 years old. Do you know what I'm saying? Hey, I love a bit of John Fury content. I'm not
It
going to
seems
lie.
like that's him at peace to me, though. Right? Like, if he's not doing that, I'd be worried about John Fury's health. If he's not screaming that he's not afraid of any man alive except for God Almighty.
No man alive. Oh God, he's just mental. It's mental. It's great. I mean, do you think at some point? I mean, far be it. I'm not trying to talk badly about Tyson or his father. It's just that, come on, you can't look at that clip and not be entertained and not find it amusing. And there's a bunch of them, because when I was on Twitter this morning, there's a bunch of clips. He's going mental. Remember when? Who was it? Someone was going to fight. I think, was it Tommy was going to fight someone, and he's headbutting the glass and stuff. Yeah. And he headbutted someone before Tyson Fury versus, I think it might have been Ngannou, or it might have been Usyk. Someone in their camp, Usyk's camp, he headbutted him, opened up a cut and stuff. He's out of his mind, man. Yeah, he's out of his mind.
And did he box? Was he a boxer?
So let's have a look here. Hold on. Because I Googled his age because I didn't know. So total fights 13. He won 8 of them. So he's got a record then of 8-5. 1 knockout. I'm not discrediting him, but he's not exactly Tyson Fury, is he?
For all that noise. You think there's a few more knockouts on there.
Well, you would think so.
Little bit of color on that. This is like very snatch style. John claims that the majority of his fighting career happened in unsanctioned bare knuckle fights in his 20s and 30s for quote unquote high stakes. So, who knows what his actual record is?
Well, who's the MMA fighter? Is it Hickson Gracie that apparently had like 500 fights, but then you can't find any record of them? Is it Hickson?
Yeah, and then there's also that other dude, Frank Dukes, who walked into the woods and came out with a Kumite trophy. So fucking what are we talking about?
Frank Dukes, baby.
There's a lot of bullshitters out there, and in this day and age. And granted, as I said, UFC 66, I had to go to like a Sherdog forum. In John Fury's prime, there was no smartphones around. Thank God there was no smartphones around when I was in the 90s.
Yeah, I know. My God.
According to Hickson, he is bare minimum 450-0 in street fights. Could be as high as 1,000-0.
Wow.
But Hickson looks like he may have done that.
Yeah, and his name's also Hickson Gracie. Yeah. Right? And the Gracies did, start the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and they did start jiu-jitsu, and mixed martial arts comes from the original term Vale Tudo, which is Brazilian for anything goes. And they did used to have those kind of fights. Maybe 450 or 1,000 is a bit of a stretch, but I'm sure there was a lot of fights on there.
Yeah, and a lot of those gym wars, right, where that's what they would do. They would just welcome anybody in, anybody that wanted to challenge. And I'm sure in those early days when everybody thought their martial art was the best martial art, that he legit did have guys coming in and coming at him all the time. I don't doubt that.
Well, let me test your trivia on martial arts knowledge. Do you know when you're in a traditional, because this relates to what they used to call dojo storming, where another academy or school or martial art back in the days would go and storm another dojo and they would all fight it out. You have the sensei at the front in the black belt, and then the higher the rank you are, the closer you are to the sensei, right? And if you're a white belt or you've just started and you haven't got a gi and you're standing there in a pair of shorts and t-shirt like an absolute day one knobhead. Remember those days, Paul?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The reason they're at the back is because if they dojo stormed, they had to get through the lesser opponents first. And they would get the competition would get tougher and tougher the closer they got to the sensei. So that's why they have that ranking system. The dojo, So I'm a bit of a traditional martial artist deep down at heart. And so maybe there is, because back in those days, I think there was a lot of that shit going on. My style's better than yours. Taekwondo is better than, karate. The touch of death from Aikido and Steven Seagal. He will touch you and you will fall over. It's all nonsense, man. A lot of bullshit.
Aikido. A lot of wrist locks. Grab my wrist. No, not that.
Not that wrist. The other wrist. Not like that. The other way.
Cross grip. Cross grip.
Oh, what have we got here?
Is that Santa Claus?
This is the Grinch dojo storming a jiu-jitsu school.
Look, the white belts first.
Yeah, there you go. Just front kick him in the face. See you later. He's already died. He's like, can't believe it. You could have found a better clip of dojo storming, to be fair. The Grinch is getting tapped out. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Oh, God, they're all on it.
Oh, man.
2001.
Poor Grinch.
Yeah, that's like something you might see in the Epstein files. Hey. So yesterday I went paintballing. Now listen to Brian and Harrington. This is up your street. I went paintballing. Bear from the Jackson podcast, Jackson Chains, Santos Studios, whatever empire he has running. Turns out the main thing that he does is these paintball parks. And I went to one of them yesterday, and I took Lucas and 8 of his buddies. I was like dad of the year because I'm always away and I wanted to do something. Bro, SC Village Paintball Park. It was in Chino. Unbelievable. We get there, they give you all the equipment. You can get like paint grenades and all kinds of stuff. You can have shields. And then you have a referee that takes you around all these different courses. And it's just, it's real life Call of Duty, but with paintballs. And of course, the little shits, they all targeted me. Anyway, so we went out. We had a great day. And then we all went to In-N-Out Burger afterwards, had some burgers. Lovely day. It was awesome. So thank you to Bear. But as we were driving back, they said, Mr. Bisping, I said, call me Michael. They're like, Mr. Bisping, technically, you're in the Epstein files.
Oh, shit. Jump ship, everybody. Scatter.
Like, what are you talking about? They went, yeah, because apparently there's some emails about some UFC event coming up. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I don't know why I brought that up. It just popped in my head. You know what I'm like with the ADD. I'm like, I am not in the Epstein files. Apparently some UFC related. Someone was messaging about something or something. But anyway, back to the paintball.
Yeah, you're going to be investigated now, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is Lucas here. So he said, you had these shields. Look at this.
Go. Oh, man. No thanks.
I mean, solid shield.
Yeah, it cracked the shield.
No way.
Of course, Lucas is going to be bloody extra. But yeah, SC Village. Man. Have you done a bit of paintballing? Because that was, honestly, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I have never gone paintballing, and I would love to do it.
BYM paintball trip. Next time you're on the East Coast, let's go into Jersey. It's so close.
We've got to do something, the four of us, soon.
Yeah.
And if you're ever out this way, Paul, we're all going to go. We'll do some podcasting here. We'll go down to the Santos studios. We'll do some training or whatever, and we'll go to the paintball place. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I would love to do that. I even missed laser tag back in the day, man. You guys remember? Do you guys have QZR back in the day?
We did have a QZR. There was one inside Six Flags Great Adventure.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Man, we used to get so like into that shit, show up, like get our teams together. It was legit when they had the fog machine going on in there. Oh.
I am certainly not proud of the amount of children that I have elbowed in laser tag.
Doing ninja rolls in there, break falls, shit.
Oh, that rules.
Dude.
Yeah, man, but the paintball, it's good exercise as well. Very, very good exercise. I was running around. I was sweating my ass off. Did about 30,000 steps. So that was good. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Fume, which is a flavored air device designed to help people quit vaping and smoking by breaking the hand-to-mouth pattern. It's simple, natural, and honestly, it's kind of genius. No nicotine, no batteries, no vapor, just a weighted, twisty, fidget-friendly tool that gives your hands something better to reach for when cravings show up. Now, most attempts to quit fail for one reason. They try and remove the habit without replacing it. Fume is the replacement, a flavored air fidget device that lets you satisfy the urge to reach for something without nicotine, vapor, or batteries. Just clean, natural vapors and a fidget-friendly design that feels good to you. So don't just try to quit, upgrade the habit loop, reach for Fume instead. Now, of course, it's January, New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop smoking. Easy on day one. Then the cravings hit. By day 5, you're back to your old habits. Well, not with Fume. Fume are here to help interrupt the old pattern. And of course, lots of flavors, the crisp mint, the peach blush, or the gingerbread, amongst many others. And right now, when you grab a journey back, you also get a free gift just for using the code BELIEVE. Fume has helped over 700,000 people take steps towards better habits, and now it's your turn. Use the code BELIEVE to get a free gift with the Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfume, TRYFUM.com. Use the code BELIEVE to claim your free gift today. So we talked about Tom Aspinall. So Dana says about the matchmaking. What do you think? Just give us your top 3 matchups that you'd like to see at the White House, or what you think will be announced sometime relatively soon.
I mean, I was super confident that we were going to get Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje announced, and now Islam throwing the wrench in that, talking about him fighting. It would like to fight Ilia, but that just muddies things up. So I'm going to stick with Gaethje and Ilia. I think Pereira and Cyril Gane for that heavyweight championship. And I don't know, when is Kayla Harrison potentially going to be cleared to fight with the neck injury that she has? Because that never happened, the fight with Amanda Nunes. I mean, that would be a great fight to put on the White House as well.
Yeah, see, that's an interesting one. And just, I hate to bring up the Tom situation again, but there's Kayla. She's the champ. She injured her neck and she's received 0 blowback or pushback or whatever. And I don't think everyone's running around saying that she's pulled out because she's scared of Amanda Nunes. Harrington, you jumped on like you were going to say something interesting.
Well, I mean, just the depth of challengers at women's 135 is nowhere near what it is, even at the top end of the heavyweight division, and with, Alex Pereira threatening to come up, right? I think if Valentina was saying, no, I want the 135 title, and there was 3 or 4 gals at 135 who were deserving, Kayla might be getting some grief. Yeah. I also jumped on to tell you that Kayla apparently is going to need 6 months to recover from the neck injury that she suffered in January. So we're looking at like late June, early July before she's ready to come back.
Yeah, so that's a shame because obviously, the women want to be represented. So it would have been nice to see Kayla Harris and Amanda Nunes on there. So let's just assume that's not going to happen. If it's, and it does have to be, they can't roll out a mid card for the White House. It's going to be something special. That's why I think Topuria and Islam. That's why I think Cyril Gane versus Pereira. Khamzat Chimaev, he's got to fight again.
Yeah, when When is that dude coming back? And what about
So-
the middleweight belt with him and Imavov? Is that happening? I know people are waiting for some kind of announcement with that division right now. And obviously Strickland has been vocal about how pissed off he is about the inactivity of Khamzat. And I said that I respect the dude. I think he's an absolute monster, but we just don't see the man fight.
Well, that was Sean Strickland's point here. Sean Strickland thinks Khamzat Chimaev. In fact, there's a video, Brian. Just click the video link. It's number 6. I was going to read it out, but here's the thing, guys. Sean Strickland can say it himself and say it better than me. Can you do a Sean Strickland, Paul?
No, you just did it better than I can.
Can you do a No Man Alive?
No man alive.
So I don't know. It's kind of weird what the UFC did with Chimaev. You brought a guy in that fights once a year who's like Madonna, who probably gets like, how much money does that dictator give him on the table? Like, the guy doesn't need to fight, dude. He's best friends with a warlord. He's just gonna sit on that belt and wait until they force him to fight. But yeah, now the middleweight division, man, like from a pure money perspective, you would make more money not fighting for the belt than you would fighting the belt. Say Chimaev goes and fights Nasruddin in 6 months. Well, let's say Chimaev sprains his pinky like he normally does. Now he takes another year off. So it's like you're off for 2 years. The belt isn't even like, it's not even in my brain anymore. I didn't even think about it. Like, I'll make significantly more money just fighting. You say, hey, you want to wait a year and a half and like not fight, or just keep fighting and fighting good guys and maybe taking an L? I'll just go fight good guys, maybe take an L, and I'll triple my pay. I'd just say Fluffy beats me and like, Fluffy want you for a title fight. Well, I mean, he's going to fight Nasruddin in probably 6 months? Fights Nasruddin, say they have a hard fight, or even if they have an easy fight, he sprains his pinky toe, he's out for another 8 months. So like, Fluffy, you're not fighting for a year and a half if you want to wait for that. And I'm sure you would, but it's like, me personally, I don't give a give me my paycheck. I want to go fight. Every fight, dude, the guy's like, I broke my hand. I have an x-ray. Want to see it? Like, my shoulder's broken. It's like every time this guy fights, he has a mysterious injury.
He makes a good. I do wish there were more guys that could take, maybe not as colorful as Sean puts it, but he's got a great point of, you can sit around and you can wait, or Michael Chandler, for example, waiting for that big Conor fight, or you can go and fight these guys and continue to make big paychecks. Now, obviously, that's if you're making big paychecks, which we know Sean, being a former champion, being a guy who's been as active as he has in the middleweight division, he's getting paid well. So he wants to keep fighting, but he's right, especially when you have, now, if you've got Volkanovski as your champion in that division, you might wait, because you might only wait 3, 4, maybe half a year to fight him.
Or is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah. I mean, to Sean's point, so I'm looking at Khamzat's record. And by the way, I'm with Khamzat tomorrow. I'm going down to see him. He's in Newport Beach. And he's with a gang of Chechens. Okay. There's a proper mafioso of Chechens stomping around Newport Beach. Okay. Right. So if anything happens, you'll hear about it, because they're going to stand out like sore thumbs. As I say, I'll be down there because I do a bit of moonlighting. I apologize, on the Jackson podcast these days. Not what we do. Nothing like that at all. We just speak to some fighters. So I'm going down to speak to Khamzat tomorrow. Now, looking at the record, 1 fight, August 25. 1 fight in October 2024. 1 fight against Usman in 23. 2 fights in 22, 1 fight in 21. And then obviously he had 3 in 2020, back to back to back. So so Sean does have a point. He does have a point in what he's saying. And obviously Sean can't really say too much, because he didn't fight. It's been a year since he fought.
Yeah.
To be fair, and I'm not sure what the circumstances surrounding that was. Why did Sean have a year out?
I don't know.
I don't
Did
think
he have an injury?
Well, he was suspended for when he stomped.
Oh, yeah. That's why. he had a legit reason.
He went and assaulted a police officer.
But he did do that himself. You know what I mean? Like, he went in there.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So he kind of does have a point. But Khamzat's, I mean, from what I understand, he's in a camp or starting camp or doing a pre-camp. So that would lead me to believe that he's fighting soon. That's got to be Marvov. But this weekend, it is Fluffy versus Strickland. And Fluffy's on an 8-fight win streak.
Yeah.
Sean's a former champion. Sean's a big name. If Sean can take away that win streak from Fluffy and do it in style, you know, he couldn't scrape a decision. I mean, a win's a win at the end of the day. But if he can beat Fluffy, which isn't going to be easy, in style, he's still one of the top ranked guys. And he does have somewhat of a history with Khamzat. Remember, they were in the gym and Strickland was saying, listen, you're better than everyone. You're choking everyone out. And they're going back and forth. And now he's talking shit. And you know damn well, Sean's not a fool. He knows, I mean, he talks a lot. But I think he knows what he's doing when he's talking shit about Khamzat. He's trying to get Khamzat to respond. And then they end up fighting in an octagon. And he has trained with Khamzat Chimaev as well. So, like, he obviously fancies it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's very strategic in his shit talking of Khamzat. And I think this fight this weekend is going to be really compelling because both guys love to drag their opponent into deep waters, right? That's what they're both known for. And obviously, Strickland does it in his Sean Strickland way where he talks all this shit. He's so brash, so, red-blooded American about everything, which people love about him. And then he's very calm and collected and cool in the way that he fights and very strategic with jabbing, teeping, and being very cautious in how he approaches when he opens up. And Fluffy's a little bit more wild, a little bit more in your face, and obviously trying to take you down. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to play out. I think I might do a little presentation on it when I get there to Houston this weekend. I might break it down. I might break it down early.
Oh, well, we can't make predictions. Harrington and Brian can. We'll come to those in just a minute. But what we can do, we can. I'll talk Strickland if you like. Is that cool?
Cool.
You talk Hernandez. So I'll go through and I'll give a few things that Sean Strickland has to do to be successful in this fight. Right.
Okay.
So. We know that Hernandez is going to go forward. Typically, he's going to look for the takedowns. And he's not a guy that holds people down too much. Yeah. He has the record for just taking people down over and over and over again. Well, that's good for Hernandez and it's good for Strickland because Strickland's going to get back to his feet. He's very, very good at doing that. He is Sean. He's very hard to hold down. If he does get taken down, he's got an uncanny way of getting back to his feet. Well, that suits Fluffy because he lets them back up anyway. Sean is also very good at fighting on his back foot, which he's going to have to do a little bit because Fluffy will be coming forward. He's the shorter guy. He's going to look to close the distance. So Sean's going to be pumping out that jab like he always does, working on the back foot until he starts to wear down his opponent. Like, was it Abus Magomedov? In the first round, he took a bit of an arse kicking. But then in the second round, when he was tired, he went forward. So Sean does have that power and he does have that reckless style when the time's right. For the most part, he does fight very defensively on the back foot, predominantly the jab, a lot of teep kicks. When he has the time and the rhythm, he'll come with them too. If they don't show up, if Fluffy second guesses himself, like Israel Adesanya did, we know that Sean's going to go forward. I mean, he almost finished Izzy at the, I think it was the end of the first round or the start of the second round. He just unloaded with that combination. Sean's got really underrated ground game, right? So I don't think Fluffy's going to pull off a submission. The only way Sean will get submitted is if he gets taken down, gets mounted, gets beaten a few times, takes a few shots and makes a mistake. That's when he'll get submitted. Other than that, I don't see a submission threat for Sean. He's going to use the reach, the range, the teeps, the movement, the backward movement, and he'll just stay calm and see what Fluffy gives him. But if you're Alexander Hernandez, how would you approach this fight, Mr. Paul Felder, otherwise known as the Irish Dragon, sometimes known as the Iron Lung?
The Iron Lung, the Iron Hip,
the titanium shin bone.
Whatever you want to say. But I think for Fluffy Hernandez, obviously he doesn't want to sit and just be in a straight up kickboxing fight where Sean can stay calm behind that jab. He's got to make it ugly, kind of like how Dricus du Plessis approached him, right? He's not the prettiest. He's not the sharpest kickboxer out there. I think you got to try to make it more of a brawl when you can and get Sean to try to get after you and try to force him into a firefight. And then when you can, clinch him up, elbow him, knee him, wear on him, and try to get those takedowns. And any opportunity you can along the fence, I think that's where Fluffy has got to try to really do some damage, is where he wants to be. If he can keep the fight on the fence, making Sean work, even if Sean is, like you said, getting back up, which I also do see him being able to do with the guys that he's training with the amount of grappling that he's got in his back pocket, which we don't see him offensively use too often. I think he's got to make him work, get back up, elbow him, knee him, work him, just wear on him along the fence and not give Sean the space to use that teep, to use that jab, and ultimately set up the combos that we don't see often from Strickland. But when he does go, like you said, against Adesanya, he also did it against Paulo Costa too. It's like teep, 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 jab, teep, teep, boom. And then you get blasted with a right hand. You can't let Strickland lull you to sleep in there. You've got to be on him, on his ass the whole time.
If he lulls you to sleep, you may go to sleep. Brian, I just put a link in the chat. We know Strickland does love to, talk wild, spar wild, beat up streamers. Anyone with a cameraman, he will spar you and knock the hell out of you.
Yes, he will.
There's a link there, Brian, in the chat, my friend. You might have saw this. This is Strickland sparring away there. He looks good here, but it's obviously not good.
Oh, fuck.
Out cold. Oh, my hand.
This is the shit that you like. Sean's got it in him to land some of these things that you just don't see coming. Like when he lets it go, he can do that. He's just very calculated on when he lets that kind of heavy volume go in his fighting. But it's strategic. He's so defensively sound. He doesn't get hit too much. And when he does, and I was watching the Paulo Costa fight the other day, when he does respond pretty quickly when you start trying to get on him. And that's where I think it's going to be interesting and potentially dangerous for Fluffy if he does try to just brawl. Because Sean, he can respond right back and then land shit like that. And he's got kicks. I think we all talk about his jab, but he kicks with that front kick more than he does anything. And
I think other than Alex Pereira, oh no, he had two. He got knocked out by Pereira, and then he had that spinning wheel kick back in 2018, Elizea Zaleski dos Santos.
Oh, yeah.
That's when Strickland was at welterweight.
Yeah.
I trained with Sean when he was at middle. I trained with him when he was at when he went down to welterweight, and he was walking around like a zombie. It was crazy. He was so skinny. He was so skinny. So that's when he got knocked out. And then after that, I think he went back up. Oh, no, it was 2 fights later. He beat Nordin Taleb. And then he went back up to 185. He has no business being at 170. It's easy to, well, I say easy. It's easy to do that against lesser bodies, though, you know. Yeah. And Sean does have a habit of doing that to Sneeko and all these streamers. We don't know the level of competition that guy was that he knocked out. Harrington, do you?
Well, no, I don't know who that guy is, but I do know that my friend, a very funny comedian, Preacher Lawson, is going viral right now for talking about getting beaten around the ring by Sean Strickland, which, it's like everybody who's ever done martial arts and has a microphone has a Sean Strickland story.
Can we play that clip? Because I saw that clip on Instagram. Yeah, see if you can find it. It is funny. Man. He's doing a stand-up bit, and he's like... talking about when he, in fact, there's no point saying it. Harrington will find the clip and we'll play it in just a second. So, yeah, I mean, listen, Strickland versus Fluffy. We can't make a prediction, but I tell you what, it's a close fight.
I think so.
Both guys, a couple of things. One, you're big and black. I just assume
one guy named Sean Strickland. I think if Sean Strickland wasn't an MMA fighter, I think he'd be a serial killer.
True.
And the only reason I feel that way, because in an interview he said, if I wasn't an MMA fighter, I'd be a serial killer. My mistake was I had a vegan shirt on because I'm plant-based. When I walk up, he goes, you know how to fight? And I was like, a little bit. He goes, but your shirt. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Then he walks back to his friends, and I hear him say, some gay guy's trying to fight us. I said, actually, I'm vegan. He goes, that's what I said. So I get massive ring. It's huge, and it's like 10 fighters. But Sean was looking for me. He goes, where's that new guy at? And I was like, that doesn't sound safe. I know Sean, he's crazy. Probably going to go super light in the beginning, then probably try to knock me out towards the end of the round. That's what I was thinking. All right, I was wrong. He tried to knock me out immediately. He was throwing haymakers, so he's punched me in the back of the head. And I was like, oh, snap, I'm ducking, I'm dodging. I'm keeping up with the current middleweight champion. I go flying, bro. My legs are in the air. I'm like a bird. And that sound was a little bit of poop. It's not full amount. It was a little bit that came out. And I just didn't know what hit me. And I was like, what's going on? Why is Jesus here? And I was like, he was like, let's go around. We got to do it again. I said, no, we don't. No, we don't have to. No. You do that again, you ain't going to make it out this ring alive, my boy. Now, obviously, I ain't say it out loud, but like, you can clearly tell by the way I was crying that he should never.
What's that guy's name, Harrington?
That is Preacher Lawson. That guy can fight a little bit too. He's a good dude.
I met him at the Apex years ago. He was in there.
Oh, really?
And hanging out and training. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
Yeah,
dude.
no, funny guy. All right, if you're a dog lover, listen up because Betterwild are here to help you and help your dog. I've got 2 dogs. Harry, we love him, but his breath absolutely stinks. Ford, he's great. He's always scratching away like crazy because, well, dogs always have a lot of allergies and they like to have treats as well. They're always begging for something. So now I can give him a treat whilst fixing their problems. I can give him a chew for Harry whilst it fixes his bad breath because Betterwild has all kinds of supplements, all kinds of treats, and they're all designed to help something. I use Betterwild Allergy Relief Soft Chews, a supplement designed to support your pet allergies defense system by strengthening their digestion. They're actually the first and only chews with ancestral advantage wolf probiotics derived from your dog's mighty ancestor, the wolf, that help restore a healthy balance of good bacteria in the gut. Betterwild allergy supplement chews include 4 key ingredients: a premium blend of wolf probiotics called the Ancestral Advantage, which is derived from kimchi that's been clinically proven to reduce itchiness and redness in just 2 months with daily use, colostrum to boost immune function and fight inflammation, salmon oil to support healthy skin and fur. And by the way, another thing is it'll stop begging all the time, wanting your food. You just give them one of the Betterwild treats because they love them. Harry and Ford absolutely love them, and I'm sure your dog will too. Betterwild is committed to helping your dogs with science-backed, veterinarian-approved solutions that turn out you can feel great about them. The dog are going to love them, and it's going to fix a variety of problems. And Harry's breath is already getting better. And right now, Betterwild is offering the listeners up to 40% off your order at betterwild.com/believe. That's betterwild.com/believe for 40% off your order. Betterwild.com/believe. Give your dog a treat, make it healthy, help them out, fix the breath, stop the scratching. Betterwild.com/believe. 40% off your order. All right. Should we do a non-MMA story? Or should we just, screw it. We'll just keep cracking on with the conversation. Right? Unless Hamilton's got a banger. You got a banger?
Listen, this one, I wasn't sure to put this in MMA or into non-MMA, but I do think it's a massive story that you guys should get to, and that is Cain Velasquez, his return to his family after, spending a significant amount of time in jail. The emotional video was going everywhere yesterday.
Yeah, no, in fact, I'm glad you brought that up because how long did he spend away? Couple of years.
He was in jail for a while before the trial, right?
Yeah, he was on remand. So then he got time served for that. Look, listen, we talked about this at the time. I don't think you were on the show, Paul. I have no issue with anything that he did. I don't think Cain Velasquez is a danger to society. Far from it. Given the situation and what went down, I got no issue with that. I got no issue.
Yeah, no, I remember thinking the same thing. I remember even telling my wife, I was like, if I found out that something like that was going on with any of my kids, I probably would have tried to react in the same way. And I get that the courts have to do a certain amount of justice when you put other people in danger, but I can't blame him for anything that he did. And I'm glad that it worked out where time served, giving him a limited amount of time in prison as much as they could without, letting a guy completely free who did open fire with potentially other people at risk. But I think best case, he got to try to give some justice and he served his time and now he's back and he gets to be with his kids.
You think you would have got off if you just showed up at the foot of that dude's bed and smoked him one-on-one?
I mean, probably not. But I understand what you were saying, though, Paul. The court system can't allow a vigilante, if you will, to be driving around shooting, busting caps from his car, shooting at people, But I think we all, if you put ourselves in the mind of Cain Velasquez and you understand the gravity of the situation and what went down, I think, I think it's good that he's back out and back with his family, and hopefully he can still rebuild his life and live the life that he deserves and that his family deserves.
Yeah. That son of a bitch that was doing whatever he was doing is going to get some legit jail time.
100%. Anyway, I didn't want to bring that up because it's like, we've talked about it and it's great that he's out. Of course it is. Of course, but we don't want to go down. I mean, I did bring up the Epstein files. It's so weird.
And how you're in them.
I'm in them. No, it was a shock. Like the kids were like, "You're in the Epstein files." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "No, you were mentioned in an email." Like, even still, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you don't want just having your name associated with it.
Yeah. I think you'll be in there, Paul. You'll be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
There you go. And there is a picture of me with Diddy.
Well, at a party.
Not at a party. Just Google
is it the one where you're holding up a bottle of baby oil?
No, no, it's me, Conor McGregor. I've got Lucas.
Oh, that doesn't help things.
Yeah. Right. Just Google it because Lucas's friends they brought this up yesterday as well because Lucas is in the picture. So Lucas's buddies because they're 15 and 16 now, so that they're young men. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, they have got some good sense.
Oh, look at you there!
Oh yeah, young and sprightly. Old Diddy, yeah.
Fucking Diddy.
Nate Diaz has been doing the rounds. He's been talking. What has he been saying? Well, he said that he's basically going to come back. I think there's a video, Brian. Number 9 says he's going to come back. He wants to fight Conor. He wants to fight Dustin Poirier. He mentions Mike Perry. He talks about coming back and taking over the sport.
Besides that, I'm doing a real fight. I would like to fight. I'd like to fight somebody. Man, for the right price. I'm ready to get back in real action. I want to fight either McGregor 3. I want to fight maybe Dustin Poirier if he sent me to the pussy, and then maybe Mike Perry. We'll see what happens in the future, though.
You want the White House card?
Yeah, that'd be dope too.
The White House card?
America gang, baby. You already know what's popping.
That'd be dope too.
Oh man, I love it. I love me some Nate Diaz. I really do. I love that he's just always ready to come back and take over. He's just waiting for them to give him a call. Give me a call, give me a paycheck, and I'm ready to take over. I don't mind Nate Conor 3 on that fucking White House card for one bit. I don't even mind the Dustin Nate, but I like the Conor even more. I feel Dustin is trying to come back, and I feel for him. I feel like he's really struggling with not being a fighter anymore, but
so hold on a minute. Let's talk about that because I did see some footage doing the rounds on social media and people were saying Dustin Poirier is back in the gym. Obviously, we know what it's like stepping away from the ring. Have you heard anything?
I have not heard anything, no, but I did see all that same stuff. And the fact that he's not just in the gym, he's not like in his gym in Louisiana or wherever he's living. He's like in Florida, I think at ATT training with the guys. And you don't, that's not like having some fun sparring rounds like me or you getting back in the gym and moving around and having fun. Like he's in there with that would be like me going back and getting legit rounds with Brady and Joe Pyfer and all those guys. It's like, why would I go and take those beatings if I wasn't trying to actually get ready for something?
Interesting. It's funny though that he calls out Mike Perry. He's not in Nate Diaz. Calls out Mike Perry. He's not with the UFC. Calls out Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is retired.
He's retired. Yeah.
Conor McGregor 3. I think there's not a single mixed martial arts fan, new or old, young or ancient, right? There is not a fan on this planet that doesn't want to see the third fight.
Dare I say there's not a man alive, Michael.
No man alive, right? Tell you what it is. Nate Diaz, proper fighting man, right? He don't care where fight happens, right? And Conor McGregor, we know he'll fight on cobbles, right? Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor 3.
Yeah,
At the
I
White
like
House,
it.
live on Paramount. I mean, come
That's-
on, it writes
and
its bloody self, doesn't it?
Did you guys see Nick Diaz was mulling a return? Said
I think we speak about this a couple of weeks ago. I did see this though.
no, I don't think we did.
Yeah, he was talking about coming back because the whole division's soft, apparently. The sport, everyone's soft these days, so he can come back and make a run for it.
I don't know about that one.
I tell you what, I was on the bag the other day. I was hitting the bag, having a little go, and I was like,
Ready to get back?
so Darren Till messaged me. He said, bro, I'll get you a fight at Misfits. I was like, see what kind of numbers they're throwing round. Because I'll do it. I'll do it. And I said to my wife, and my wife was like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, babe,
She's ready to kill you.
these pussies, and I say, they're doing 6 2-minute rounds. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Yeah.
Last time I went and worked out at Perillo's gym, I did like 6 or like 3 or 4 5-minute rounds against Nick Maximov, who's in his prime, who's a young guy. You remember?
Oh, yeah,
Nick
I know Nick. Yeah.
Maximov?
Yep.
Yeah. I did a few rounds with Nick, you know what I mean? And, I'm like, 6 2-minute rounds with gloves on, boxing. Yeah. I said I wouldn't even need to do any sparring for it. And because that's the dangerous part, with the one eye. The sparring gets hard. I'll just hit loads of pads, loads of bag work, loads of sprints, loads of like shadow boxing. I'll put the Rocky soundtrack on, okay, right? And I will be pumping. Okay, so Misfits.
You got to get some barn. You got to get a barn somewhere with some ropes to do pull-ups on, shit like that.
Fucking content galore, right? Yeah. The comeback trail, but we will. Paul, you're having one with me as well.
All right, sign me up. Especially boxing. I don't need my hip. I don't need my hip for that.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You got the footwork. You got the head movement.
I'm ready.
You know what I mean?
Sign it up.
Get Salt Pappy on the go.
Yeah, I'll fuck Salt Pappy up.
Would you fight Salt Pappy?
I'd fuck Salt Pappy up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You make a lot. You make a lot more money fighting Andrew Tate.
Oh fuck! After that last performance, Mike.
I don't think Andrew Tate wants anyone.
No, I think he wants to crawl into a fucking corner and die after that. My God. He'd be kissing my knees and my shorts more than he'd be fucking boxing the way he looked. He's like falling down and bending over. He's so full of shit.
So Paul
my God. And I gave him too much respect going to that one. I'm like, oh, he's going to kill this kid. This kid absolutely sucks. And he looked like garbage.
Grade A garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Paul's going to fight Salt Pappy. I'll take on Chester tomorrow and everything else they want. You know what I mean? We'll do 2 in one night. Fuck it. We're back. The BYM takeover. BYM / Misfits. I'm fucking serious, Paul.
Well, hey,
we got to start getting press passes to these things. Jesus.
Yeah, just start talking shit.
Harrington, give us a story. In fact, let's just go through the fight card that we got happening this weekend real quick, Harrington. Sorry, buddy. Just prep yourself with a good, juicy story. Obviously, we've got Sean Strickland and Hernandez. Great fight, pivotal in the middleweight division. Jeff Neal versus Urosh Medic. Got a banger here in the featherweight division. Dan Ige, Milkazael Costa. Costa is on an absolute tear right now. His last win, I think it was like a sick body kick. He's on like 4 or 5 in a row now. The man's fighting very frequently. Ante Delia, that obviously had that controversy with Waldo Cortez Acosta. Remember, it looked like he'd finished Costa. Then there was the eye poke, and then he comes back and he knocks out Ante Delia. I'm a big fan of Ante Delia. I think he's a tremendous fighter. He's taking on Sergey Spivak. Always a tough test and tells you where you are in the division. Jacoby Smith versus Josiah Harrell and Zachary Reese versus Michelle Pereira opening up the main card. Houston, Texas. When do you get in?
Wednesday night. I think at like 8:00, something like that.
I'm on a pretty strict diet right now. I got down to 220. I'm back up to 225 today, but I'm back on it hardcore today. And I said to myself, when I fly there Wednesday, I'm not eating on the plane.
Yeah, I did that. I did that to and from Vegas. I'm just so sick of eating that. Some of that airplane food is such shit anyway, man.
It's just shit.
It is shit. I've had some chicken on airplanes, and we're talking business class, like international flights, where I couldn't cut it.
Yeah.
I couldn't cut the piece of chicken. And I've also had some really good meals, depending on what airline you're on. Like Qatar Airways, their food is actually really, really good. And you can order it whenever you want. It's not like, you know how you get on some of these international trips and it's like sit down, they take a drink order, they bring you some things, and then it's like time to eat dinner. Where Qatar, you can order food whenever you want from their menu, like whatever you want. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. But yeah, a lot of the plane meals, because it's only a 3.5 hour flight. So I said, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do my workout, pack my stuff. I'm going to have a protein shake. I said to my wife, I'll even be crazy. I'm going to throw a banana in this one so it keeps me fuller for longer because I'm not going to eat on the plane, because it's just essentially a microwave meal full of crap and additives and preservatives and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So none of that. But when I get to Houston, Wednesday, I'm going to go find a good restaurant.
What time do you get in?
Oh, I don't know. Probably like 6.
Yeah. See, I get in. I don't get in until I think it's 8 something. So I'm kind of screwed.
Texas does good barbecue though. We'll have to go find a good barbecue.
Yeah. Cause then Thursday after fighter meetings and stuff, I'm down to go eat.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And Friday as well. It's a daily thing. The eating. You have to do it every day.
The dinners.
Unless you do a 72-hour fast, which I do keep threatening to do again.
I have never done. I've only ever done 24 hours. I've never done anything more.
I did the 72. It wasn't that bad. Harrington?
I just did 90 2 weeks ago, and it felt incredible. Dude, so
why would you do 90?
Because I wanted to get to 100, and my wife said, absolutely not. You look like you're going to die. I'm making you have dinner tonight.
That incredible feeling you felt is the euphoria of your body shutting down.
It's you dying.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, dude,
it's your body going, no, this isn't bad, because it doesn't want you feeling the agony that you're slowly dying.
Yeah, actually eating yourself.
I was ready, dude. I was ready to be taken to the other side. Mike, you should try it.
Did you work out? Did you work out when you did 9 hours of fasting?
I sparred one day and then I hit the bag another day.
Did you feel like a bag of sand?
Yeah, after the bag work, I felt like garbage. After the sparring, I was like, okay, I feel good. Like this is, you get like some
That's
weird
the brain damage.
I certainly couldn't do the things that I'm doing on a complete fast. I take in about 500-600 calories an hour when I'm doing my workouts.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy, that's like next level working out. That's nowhere near what I was doing, but
yeah, it's not even close to the same thing.
I was doing a 100-mile ride on fucking Saturday, and my computer, like it was a virtual one, and my computer died at 80 miles. And it was plugged in my iPad with the virtual shit on it. I was so
you lose it all?
No, when I turned it back on, when it charged, I was able to save the 80-mile ride. But the goal was I was in a group ride for 100 miles, and I got 80 in.
And you killed your computer? This is our John Henry story.
That was like 2,700 calories burned, and I was probably eating about only 500 or 600 an hour on that thing. So not a.
Well, I want to do the regular. I want to start making it a regular thing because my neck is still giving me issues. I don't mention it nearly as much as what I used to, fortunately for everyone involved, but it still kills. And obviously, when you do the fasting, you go into the autophagy and you go into the cell repair and all the rest of it. So I'm like, right, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to start just starving myself for multiple days on end to see if it repairs my neck. Because I went to the neck doctor again last week, and Brian, I just sent you a couple of pictures. I went to the neck doctor for the first time in ages. He's like, how you doing? I said, it's still exactly the same as all the surgeries that we did. I'm still in absolute agony. And you're not going to believe this. He gives me a sheet. Oh, here's my neck, by the way. Show the other one. Hold on. So there's the new disc at the bottom, the fusion at the top, and then there's like these dowels either side, left and right. They're like in between the facet vertebrae, just like dowels to keep them apart. So they did a fair bit of work. Anyway, He says, he gives me a sheet. And on the sheet, it describes a procedure that they can do when someone's having a certain type of neck pain that hurts when they look to the side. And I have said for years, it hurts when I look to the side. And they went in, they replaced the disc, they redid a fusion, they put in these dowels, they did all this type of stuff. And now turns out there's an outpatient surgery where I got to go to the surgery center and I just get a few little injections. And they're very, very confident that this will give me relief. And then if I get relief, then the nerves that those injections attack, they will electrocute them. They will fry the nerves so that they go dead, and it will rid me of the pain. And a skeptic might say,
could have started there, huh?
Should we not have done this first before we did?
Why didn't we venture that road first? That's like finding out that there's this massive mountain in front of you that you climbed. And then after you got to the other side, they're like, oh, by the way, when you go back, there's a little road that goes right around it. It's really short.
There's a tunnel.
There's a tunnel that goes through it.
Tunnel. You don't have to go all the way up, all the way down. Anyway, Harrington, give us a story, buddy. What have we got to talk about? There's still lots of stuff going on.
Well, I think just to put a button on that White House thing, the other big news that came out, or not news, but like the big rumor is Islam is going to be fighting on that, not against Ilia Topuria, but Ian Garry. Ian Garry said he's not going to tell anybody when he goes to fight Islam. He's just going to book himself a flight to Georgia and go train with those wrestlers because those guys want to see Islam beaten more than anyone. Ian Garry today said that, he posted a video of him on a flight to, I believe it's Tbilisi, Georgia. So people are reading between the lines there saying Ian Garry might be the next one to get the title shot at 170 pounds.
Tbilisi, yeah. I know it well. I was just there. Great city. If he's not fighting Topuria, we had this conversation last week, then it is Ian Garry. Who else is it?
I think it's Ian.
It's Ian Garry.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
It's got to be.
Do you think that makes sense for the White House card?
An Irishman versus... So I did a video on this and everyone said in the comment section, and I don't know the validity of this, but there was a lot of comments saying no. They've said no Russians at the White House. I haven't heard that. Have you heard that?
No.
I have heard that. I haven't heard it
only shit posts.
Official from anyone. Yeah.
You say again, Brian and Hamilton?
Only shit posts.
Right. Yeah. Just dickheads. Yeah. So anyway, Manel Kopp has been talking now. He says that he has been passed over for a title shot, and Tatsuro Taira will be fighting Joshua Van in an all-Asian affair. This is what Harrington put in the notes for the flyweight title.
Yeah, man, it's a big deal. The Joshua Van, the first Asian male to ever hold UFC gold, fighting in his first defense, a Japanese dude. This is we went from never having an Asian champion to two Asian guys fighting each other for a title. That's pretty big news.
So this is the word from Manel Kopp. Manel says, fake news. I am not fighting my son, Joshua Van. My team and I have been pushing for this fight since the last one. However, according to the UFC, they had already promised a title shot to Tatsuro Taira after he defeated Brandon Royval. Even though in that, we kept pushing to make this fight happen on March 7th. UFC told us there was a strong possibility. I was already cutting weight by Monday. I was down to 144. In the end, the UFC decided to not move forward with the fight because of the short time. Now, I spoke to Joshua Van last week, and Joshua Van claims that Manel Kopp turned the fight down because of a weight issue. He wouldn't be able to make it. Tatsuro Taira, though, I think that makes all the sense in the world. He just dominated and finished Brandon Moreno. I think the guy's phenomenally talented. Did he do this one in Japan, Paul?
I hope so. I mean, I want to go there so bad. I really do. I was just talking about that today, that, I know they kept saying, oh, maybe we're going to go to Japan. It's been rumored that we might go to Japan. But that's unfair, I think, to Joshua Van if it's in Japan.
Why?
Because Tatsuro is the challenger.
Yeah, but it's a new market. They want to open it up. They got a challenger there. I mean, Taira, 18-1. 14 finishes. Brandon Moreno, last time out, one of the mainstays of that division, multiple-time champion. I think the way he finished him in the second round, gets full mount and just beats him to a pulp. That gets you a title fight. The only other person out there is Manel Kopp, who, to be fair, just knocked out Brandon Royval in devastating fashion.
I mean, what about Horiguchi? Horiguchi's in the mix, no?
In the mix, yes, but I don't think beating the two people that he did, what was it, Farid Basharat, or was it Javid? I always get them confused.
Javid, I believe. No, it was Patchy Mix.
No, Kyoji Haraguchi.
Yeah.
He's flyweight. Both Basharats are bantamweight.
They're bantamweight.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting it. Who did Haraguchi just fight?
Amir Albazi.
Amir Albazi. Sorry, there you go.
And Ulanbekov in his return to the promotion.
Yeah, but still, those wins aren't as good as beating
Book Kopp and Horiguchi again. They fought over in Asia, and that was a crazy fight.
Yeah, but Manel Kopp, no one hits as hard as him in the flyweight division. He's got true one-punch knockout power. He's exciting. He's got a great style. I understand it, but if they're going to go with Taira, because they are going to Japan, I mean, that makes sense. If they're going to go to Japan, they got to do it with the Japanese fighter, So, it is what it is, but
that may be for down the line. It looks like this fight is scheduled. It's not scheduled, but it's highly rumored for UFC in Miami at the Kaseya Center.
March 7th. No, that's April 7th.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Manel's on a 3-fight win streak. Brandon Royval, Asu Almabayev, and Bruno Silva, all stoppages and all.
I'm not working that one.
So, yeah. No, I'm not either.
April
Did you see
4th?
Johnny Walker over the weekend? Did you see? No, sorry. Did you see Valter Walker?
I did.
Did you see what he was doing?
Who he was grappling?
Would you ever grapple someone with no legs?
No, I wouldn't, because if that dude beat me, I would. I'd be upset. And he's apparently a freak. In grappling as well, not just because he has no legs.
So this guy here, Zion Clark. I mean, God bless him. Obviously he's had lots of challenges in life. Here they are at Karate Combat. Valter Walker. I don't know. Was it serious? Were they playing around? I think they were playing around. Valter tries to go for a heel hook. Yeah. And the guy, Zion Clark, fair play. He's not being a victim. He's not feeling sorry for himself. He's out there and he's having a bit of fun and competing.
I've seen that guy before.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen him. He's fought MMA, I think.
No. Has he really?
Yes. Harrington. Brian.
Zion Clark. Let me look him up. Zion Clark.
I'm almost positive.
American professional wrestler and mixed martial artist. Born 1997.
You take away all my weapons if I fight him.
He was a wheelchair racer.
He is 1-0 in MMA.
By decision.
Clark was born without legs due to a rare disorder called caudal regression syndrome. He won a fight against Eugene Murray by decision in 2022. I'm just going to say it sucks to be Eugene Murray. I don't think you're getting on the Contender Series anytime soon.
Record?
What?
What's his record?
Yeah, let's have a look. Eugene Murray. I don't know. I'm assuming that's the only fight that he had, but let's take a gander. Let's have a look. Copy and paste.
Nope, it was his latest fight. He is 0-5 as a professional. He has been submitted, heel hooked, knocked out, and his one lone decision was against Zion Clark.
Yeah,
a guy who was born with no lower body.
Yes.
Well, Johnny Walker's not happy about all
Well, sometimes I feel bad about myself, and then I know that people like this exist, and then I'm good again.
And they're in Karate Combat, Brian. What's your excuse? We need to get you in Karate Combat.
Did you see what Johnny Walker had to say about this? Harrison, read out the quote from Johnny Walker, because I thought when I saw Valter Walker and Zion Clark here and what's his name? the president of Karate Combat. It seemed like they were just kind of having a bit of fun with it. But Harrington, read this out. I don't want to say
he doesn't deserve my name. He is not a Walker. I am very sad. I stand up for family. Family is what I fight for. He have no respect on my family, my wife, and my mom. He want me to left my pregnant wife at home after he said bad shit about her online. I come and support him to fight a disabled man. Ashamed, very ashamed. Take my name out of your. I am ashamed. He is choking an indefensible guy 4 times lighter than him without leg. Very disrespect. Take someone of your size. You are shameful for the Walker legacy. Valter Walker, this is why I do not come to this fight. It wasn't real fight. It was, I can't even give it a name. Can someone tell me what it was, please?
Harrington, I gotta say, 10 out of 10 on the Johnny Walker.
He mispronounced disrespect.
You know, we got to throw in a few knows with the Brazilian.
I got so into character, I almost did the worm and broke my shoulder.
Yeah. No, I think that was just messing around. I don't think that was a real match, right? Am I giving you
with Zion?
I think it's not as real as it can be.
No, I think it is. I mean, this guy is like he's an athlete, right? He fancies himself an actual athlete. He's competed at the high school level, collegiate level. Like he's done real competitions in his entire life. So it's like maybe for Valter, this was a joke. Maybe Valter, for him, it was just for the meme of going for the heel hook. But I think for Zion, this is the only kind of fight he can actually get. Yeah. So it's like whatever he can get, it's still real to him.
Yeah.
It's still
real to me. But Johnny Walker has 4, is it 4 or 5 now? Heel hooks in a row.
Valter, yes.
In the first round, I believe. In the UFC, at the highest level, right? It's I don't think he was looking at this as like and I'm not being disrespectful to Zion Clark. God bless that man. And I'm deadly serious about that. What a guy. That's the way. You know, life has been unfair like that and dealt you a shitty hand to not be a victim and say, you know what? We're going to make the best out of this. Fair play to him, you know, and anyone that feels sorry for themselves, maybe look at Zion Clark and see his attitude on things, because there's a guy that could sit around and feel sorry for himself. But what did he do? He turned himself into an athlete, and now he's almost getting heel hooked by Johnny Valter Walker, okay? And he's the talk of the town. Fair play to that man.
He's the talk of the town. He is the talk of the town. Yeah, he's jacked.
He's jacked.
Yeah.
He is jacked. All right, so normally we do questions on here. If you have one of them, if you have a question, send it to bynpod@gmail.com. It's that time of the show when we said, do us a favor, like the video. Don't be a dickhead. Just like the video. Hit the subscribe and leave a comment. And if you have a question, send it to bynpod@gmail.com. Before we get there real quick, Harrington and Brian, give me your prediction on the main event in Houston, Texas. We'll start with you, Harrington.
I think it's tough, like that video that Sean Strickland just made, right? I don't care if I win or lose. I'm not thinking about the title. Like, I just want to take fights against high-level guys and cash paychecks. Hernandez seems singularly focused on a title. He's on, a 6-7 fight win streak, 8-fight win streak. I mean, the one thing that does bring me concern is how much Sean Strickland uses his kicks. And the fact that Fluffy, one of his 2 losses in the UFC, was a knee. It was a knee TKO. So I think Strickland's going to be active with the legs as Hernandez is diving for them. But I don't know. Just strictly from like a perspective of like motivation and what is each guy fighting for, who's going to dig the deepest in the 5th round. I think Fluffy's the one who is certainly on like a, heading towards the title trajectory, where Sean Strickland might be in the like, hey, I'm a legend to the game, former champion. I'm here to have fun fights and cash checks.
Interesting.
I think that might help Sean. He's already been to the mountaintop and he's just trying to fight and win to make the most money possible. I think that the excitement of reaching for a brass ring for Fluffy might make him act in a way that doesn't necessarily is conducive to winning, right? But he might walk into Sean's doing something. Anyway, I think just on the strength of their last 10 fights alone, I think the Sean is a huge step up in competition for Fluffy. I don't think he's beaten anybody anywhere near the level of Sean.
Yeah, and then that's an interesting point, Brian, because when you look at Strickland's record, these are his last fights. Dricus, Paulo Costa, Dricus, Israel Adesanya, Abus Magomedov, Nasruddin Imavov, Jared Cannonier, Alex Pereira. That is
and three of those
insane level of competition. Whereas Fluffy Hernandez, of course, very impressive 8-fight win streak against Roman Dolidze, Brendan Allen, Michel Pereira, Roman Kopilov, Edmund Shabazian, Marc-Andre Barrio, and Rodolfo Vieira, and Josh Friend. Again, good fights, but they do not compare in terms of name value compared to what Strickland's fought. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, and saying all that, I think Sean takes it maybe easier than people think.
I tell you what. Go on.
Fluffy Hernandez minus 335 favorite heading into this one. So the bookies are really, really leaning on him.
I think people sleep on that, on the level of competition that Strickland's fought.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, Pereira, Jared Cannonier, like the perennial contender. Imavov, probably next going to be for the belt. Abus Magomedov, he's a problem for a lot of people. Izzy, 2 fights against Dricus. Paulo Costa, he made Costa look very average. Costa didn't show up. Costa didn't do anything. And a lot of that was because of the way that Strickland was fighting. And it is a very frustrating style. It's a tough code to crack, So it's an interesting fight. It's a good fight. And we will be there live from Octagon Side, myself, the Irish Dragon, the one and only John Anik. That is your broadcast team for this weekend. Right. It's been a while.
And me and Harrington will be hanging out in the Discord. So come and hang out.
In the Discord. You got to be there. Any questions, Brian?
Yeah, we do have a question. This one is from BYM Laughs.
What's up, BYM team? Just finished my workout here in beautiful downtown Houston, home of Fight Night Strickland versus Hernandez, live Saturday night at the Toyota Center. But my question today, Bisping, Felder, when did you guys first hear about each other? Was it pre-UFC? Let me know. And then the second part of the question, when and where did you guys first meet in person? What was that like? Is there a story to tell? I think we'd love to know. Anyways, enjoy your stay here in H-Town. We got some of the best food, so if you're looking for any recommendations, just let me know. I'll send you a DM. Don't forget also as well to follow BYM Laughs on Instagram and check out my YouTube channel, Upshot MMA on YouTube. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, do let us know in the comment section, please. Good places to eat in Houston where we need to go. Paul, when did you sign with the UFC?
2014, October 2014.
Yeah. Obviously, when you started fighting, that's when I first became familiar with you. And I'm assuming the same thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ultimate Fighter is when I found out who you were. That was back when I was watching all of those seasons because they were really good back then. Now it's just there's been so many. I have a hard time following it. But yeah, I remember watching probably every episode of the season you were on.
Yeah, because unfortunately our paths didn't cross because, as you're probably very aware, I am from a town called Clitheroe in the northwest of England. It's from the mean streets of Philadelphia. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I wasn't up with the regional scenes in Europe back in the early 2000s.
And I wasn't keeping an eye on CFFC, right? CFFC. See? Yeah. I got it. When did we first meet? I think it might have been, did we work a Fox event? The Fox Studios? Did you work there?
Yeah, I've done a couple of them. It had to be there or just doing a desk bit together at some point. Yeah, or working them at the same time, doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't remember exactly when though, because I mean, I had been around and been at fight cards that you were fighting on and stuff like that. So like, I remember I was in the audience when you beat Rockhold. So yeah,
I do remember thinking, for crying out loud, this son of a bitch. Swans in. I've been doing the desk for bloody 10 years. This dickhead swans in, gets a commentary job. What? Mr. La-di-da with his acting degree and he's prancing about.
Not even ranked in the top 10 on a commentary job.
Of a bitch. What does a guy have to do to get a little respect around here? Anyway, that's
Here
the
we
show.
are. Here
Thank
we
you
are.
for watching. Subscribe and ring the bell. See you next week.